In this movie, I'll show you how to build up the base path outlines required to create this continuously overlapping ribbon using a combination of a hexagon, an object blend, and the rotate tool. So I'm going to start things off by going up to the File menu and choosing New From Template, or you can press that keyboard shortcut of Control-Shift-N or Command-Shift-N on the Mac. And then go ahead and locate that Center Guides template that we created way at the outset of Chapter 5 of the Fundamentals course. And then go ahead and double-click on it in order to load up that file. All right, now go up to the View menu and turn on the Smart Guides command, which has a keyboard shortcut, once again, of Control-U or Command-U on the Mac. Now select the Polygon tool from the Shape Tool flyout menu, and then go ahead and click at the intersection of the two center guides in order to bring up the Polygon dialog box. We're going to be starting with a hexagon, so we need 6 sides, and I'm going to take the radius value up to 350 points and then click OK in order to create this ginormous shape. Now, assuming you're working with the most recent version of Illustrator CC, the one that supports live shapes, then go up to the Window menu and choose the Transform command to bring up the Transform panel, and then go ahead and change this polygon angle value to 0 degrees and press the Tab key to advance to the round corner value and change it to 12 points, and then press the Enter key or the Return key on the Mac. All right, now I want to thicken up the outline by changing the line weight value to 3 points, and I'll also set the fill to none. All right, now I'll press the Escape key to hide that panel, and I'll press the A key to switch to my white arrow tool because I need to select a couple of anchor points, which are these top 2 points right here. So click on the top left point to select it, and then shift-click on the top right point to select it as well. And what that does is it selects the horizontal segment in between, as well as the 2 tiny curved segments on either side of the selection. At which point, go ahead and press Control-C or Command-C on the Mac to copy that partially selected path to the clipboard, and then press Control-F or Command-F on a Mac to paste it in front. And just to give you a sense for what that looks like, I'll drag it out here. We just have this 3-segment open path. All right, I'll go ahead and press Control-Z or Command-Z on the Mac in order to undo that move, and I will press Control-F or Command-F on the Mac a second time to paste another copy of that path. All right, now for the best results, you want to return to the View menu and turn off your Smart Guides, or press Control-U or Command-U on the Mac. And that's because they sometimes get in the way of snapping, especially when you're trying to snap one anchor point to another. And so what we want to do is take this selected path right here and go ahead and drag it down till it snaps into alignment with this anchor point down here. And to see what that looks like, I'll just go ahead and zoom way in here. Notice now, if I were to marquee this area, we have 2 coincident anchor points. That is, one is sitting directly on top of the other. And if you want to confirm that, then you can Alt-click or Option-click on this open path outline to select the entire thing. And then you can drag it away, like so, and make sure to drag it by its endpoint and drag it until it snaps into alignment with a stationary anchor point. And you'll know that you have a snap because your cursor will change to a white arrowhead, at which point go ahead and release. All right, now press Control-0 or Command-0 on the Mac to zoom out, and then just go ahead and marquee these 2 anchor points right there and drag this endpoint, the left-hand endpoint, while pressing the Shift key, very important, so that you don't end up dragging these guys willy-nilly. You want to make sure to constrain the angle of your drag to absolutely horizontal. And so keep that Shift key down as you snap this point into alignment with the anchor point over on the left side of the shape. And again, you'll know you have a snap when your arrowhead cursor turns white. At which point, go ahead and release in order to modify that path outline. All right, now press the V key in order to switch to the black arrow tool and go ahead and click on this top open path in order to select it, and then shift-click on the bottom open path so that you have both of these paths selected. But as you can see, the polygon is deselected. Then I want you to go up to the Object menu, choose Blend, and choose Make, or you have that keyboard shortcut of Control-Alt-B or Command-Option-B on the Mac in order to create an object blend between those 2 selected path outlines. All right, that's way too many intervals, and so to reduce the number, return to the Object menu, choose Blend, and then choose Blend Options, and change the spacing value here to specified steps, and then take the number of steps down to 6. And if you want to see what that looks like, turn on the Preview checkbox, and you'll end up with this effect here. Now go ahead and click OK to accept that change. All right, now we don't need quite this many ribbon overlaps. If you take a look at the final effect, we have just 2 overlapping ribbons, the one at the top and the one down here at the bottom with a thin gap in between them. And to achieve that effect, I'll return back to my illustration in progress, and I'll go up to the Object menu and choose Expand. And that'll bring up this dialog box. All you want to do is click OK in order to convert your dynamic blend to static path outlines. All right, now we have a group as indicated by the word group on the far left side of the control panel. And so to break things up, go back to the Object menu and choose the Ungroup command, or you can press Control-Shift-G or Command-Shift-G on the Mac. Now what I want you to do is just click off the paths to deselect them, and then go ahead and marquee these 2 paths right there. So the 2 directly above the middle one, and press the backspace key or the delete key on the Mac to get rid of them. And then marquee these 2 guys directly below the top path outline, and press the backspace key or the delete key on the Mac to get rid of them. All right, now you want to select all the open paths. So just go ahead and press Control-A or Command-A on the Mac to select everything, and then shift-click on the big polygon to deselect it. Now switch to the Rotate tool, which you can get by pressing the R key. And then I'm going to bring back my smart guides by pressing Control-U or Command-U on the Mac, and I'm going to position my cursor at the intersection of those 2 guidelines and press the Alt key or the Option key on the Mac and click in order to set a transformation origin at that location. All right, now we want to set the angle value to 360, which is an entire circle, divided by 3. So 360/3. And then when you press the Tab key, Illustrator does the math for you, 120 degrees, at which point you can turn on the preview checkbox just to confirm that is what you want, and then click the copy button, or of course you can press Alt-Enter here on a PC or Option-Return on the Mac. Now we want to duplicate that transformation by pressing Control-D or Command-D on the Mac in order to produce this effect here. And now I'll press the V key in order to switch to my black arrow tool, and I'll click off the path outlines to deselect them. And just to reduce the amount of visual noise here, I'll go ahead and turn off the guides layer. And now you can see that the result is the base path outlines that we need in order to achieve this final overlapping ribbon effect right here. And that, friends, is how you create the base path outlines for our overlapping ribbon using a combination of a hexagon, an object blend, and the Rotate tool here inside Illustrator.